all you beautiful people. Welcome to Christy's Corner, where we talk about culture, conservatism, Christianity, and common sense. So glad you're here. Thank you to my subscribers. You guys so rock. I didn't put up notice that we were doing a show, so I'm not surprised if this is kind of catching some of y'all off guard. Troy and I will just fiddle around for a little bit until the audience has a chance to catch up. Fiddle around, fiddle around.
Okay.
So, hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
You asked what we should talk about, and I said,
Okay, this drives me up the wall.
So we'll fix it.
I'm like the person you're not talking to.
You like the person I'm not talking
No,
to?
I am like the person. I am the person you're not talking to because you were in the picture.
Ah.
You did catch part of a hat. Anyway, yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, so we said Perserverance. Tesla's under attack. What else is going on?
Like kill me last night on Goodfellas going, everybody go buy a Tesla.
I wish we could. I wish, you know what? If
I
anybody
think Trump
out
just
there,
did.
Trump did.
Well,
Apparently, he'd already bought one for Kai, but he went and bought another one tonight to make it a publicity stunt to support a patriotic American who was doing his absolute darndest on his own free time to save this country.
yeah.
And so Trump wanted to put a little light on it. Let's put some positive light on it. I'll buy a Tesla. And you know what? Everyone out there who can afford it, go buy one. Go buy one tomorrow. Don't get in trouble with the wife.
If you want one.
I think even if you don't want one, I think you make it as a statement if you can afford it. If you have that kind of,
I think
what do they call that? The FU money? If you have that kind of money, I think you should absolutely make a statement.
I think Musk is, and I believe he said something to this effect, is a lot like Trump. They don't really want money, particularly if you don't need it. I mean, they worked hard. They're successful. Obviously, being financially well off was a part of what they do. But as much as they appreciate the support, they wouldn't want anyone to put themselves in a bind.
Of course not. No, I don't mean
Right.
that at all. I do not mean if you cannot afford one, go buy one anyway just to support them. I don't mean that at all. I mean, there are plenty of wealthy people in this country and around the world who can absolutely afford to buy a Tesla tomorrow or tonight. People that have, like I said, that crude FU money, whatever. The billionaires, the millionaires, the multimillionaires. I know, I'm not going to say it.
You know what?
I'm not saying it.
And forgive my toothpick and everything. I'm not smoking again. So,
I'm dripping.
As far as like the way it's made, apparently it is the most American-made car there is.
More parts of it are made in America than any other car.
Yeah, more of the car as a whole is made in America than any other vehicle.
I've been thinking about Musk a lot lately. Who hasn't, right? Who hasn't been thinking about him with all the media attention? But I've been thinking about where he came from South Africa. And when, was it Joy Behar? Who was it that was accusing him of being a racist because he came from apartheid? Who did that?
Oh, I don't know. It was I think it was one of the Joys.
Well, whoever did that really got me to thinking, you know, this man grew up around the opposite of freedom. He grew up in an extremely racist, and not just racist. Apartheid was ugly. We think it was bad here. It was ugly. It was so ugly they didn't have it on the news that much at night. Like they had the Vietnam War on the news every night. They didn't have what was going on with apartheid on every night because it was so brutal.
Well, and that was a different time as far as the news goes too, but
that not being my point. My point being that he grew up around that, and usually people, you know, how's the old saying go? Two brothers grow up with an alcoholic for a father. One grows up to become an alcoholic, and the other one grows up and never touches a drop of alcohol. And the psychotherapist asks them as they end up in therapy, all right, Mr. Alcoholic, why did you become an alcoholic? Well, because my dad was an alcoholic. Okay. And they asked the non alcoholic, so, young man, why did you not become an alcoholic? Because my dad's an alcoholic.
Right.
And I think that analogy kind of works with apartheid and what he grew up around, and that may be one of the reasons he is so. I don't want to use the word vehemently, but I want a word that's strong like that. That he is so committed to saving this country, understanding full well our place in the world. They used to say when America sneezes, the whole world gets a cold. Now, think about what that really means. That's how prominent our economy was in the world.
Right.
You look like you want to say something. What you got?
I no, I was
Hey, bear with me.
hey,
How's it going?
it's going
I
okay.
wonder
Yeah,
if Dame Frodo Lives is here.
I was thinking about really. I was kind of thinking about. It's almost like God let the election get taken for America to experience 4 years of what could be, you know, what can be, or however she said it, not to be burdened by the, we now we're burdened by the past. We're trying to get unburdened, and and in the meantime, as all of this was going on, and they were viciously going after our president, he was putting the plan together, and how quickly he implemented, knowing he's on, he's on a certain timeline, and to put somebody like Mr. Musk and his team uh, on the auditing and all of that they're doing. The skills are phenomenal to do that. It's very straightforward. It's black and white. And watching what's happening with, and I'm kind of on a couple of different topics here, but
No,
watching
you.
it happens. It happens. Try and keep up. Sorry, y'all. Anyway,
We have fun with our ADD. We
Yeah.
both have it. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get our list because I forgot it. Little ADD moment. Keep going.
okay. Well, I was just fixing to lay this out for you, but
I'm listening.
in the meantime, so we've had 4 years to actually experience what they were trying to do. And we watched right there at the end of the ridiculous spending. And
Oh,
now,
when he was throwing all the money out the door so fast.
right,
Okay.
right. So if you really get into the plan of it all, it's just very Alinsky-esque. Kind of
Saul
real, yeah,
Alinsky is.
yeah. So I got to remember who I'm talking with, because I'm different on a different platform. I speak differently.
And I think we're kind of slow right now. When I sat down, it was a blur. Do you want to pull this up on your phone and see if we're working? Yeah, we're working. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. We always do
We're
that.
just a little bit behind here.
So you think that all the money out the door with Joe Biden? Oh, you know what that brings up a topic of? So please do finish your thought. I'll remember this one.
I lost it already.
That it's like Saul Alinsky.
Just where we're at right now. I mean, if you look at, because it kind of looks like, other than the gripeys and the troublemakers, we really only have one party. And at least before, when we were on the other side, we had principles and platforms and stuff to talk about. Everything that, like, the Democrats have right now they've already played it out, and now they're just using the disruptive tools, but there's nothing to speak of. I mean, literally nothing to speak of.
May I interject a little educational moment?
Please.
So the platform and the party, Do you guys know where that came from? So, politicians back in the day, before media, would build a stage and they'd stand up on the stage, and each stair would have an idea: abolition, uh, lower taxes, uh, snake oil, illegal. you know, uh, can y'all read that? And so they would build this stage, and each one of the planks in front, they'd paint what that politician stood for, what he was running for. And those became known as the planks of the party.
Mm.
And the planks of the party, what you were just saying,
is the platform.
Yes, but what you were just saying.
What do you mean? Yes, that was a good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, but I was going somewhere else. But that's fine. So what you were just describing, that the Democrats don't have a platform. They don't have a plank. They have nothing to stand for except opposition. We've been hearing the media, talking about it all week. Of their only plank in their platform is opposition, and that's no position at all.
Well, it's so I just heard,
unless you had slavery and you were an abolitionist. That's about the only,
I just heard a couple, three things.
I understand how the argument can break down.
I just heard a few things. One of which was I forget the congresswoman or senator. I think she's a congresswoman, talking about this this Department of Education thing. How she was saying, how can you just remove education? So they're trying to spin it like we're like, no. The only thing that keeps happening is we keep adding more money, the bureaucracy gets bigger, and the kids get off.
Go ahead and look for that. What we were just saying. I love how Trump put it so clearly. Did you look for him?
Yes, I don't see him.
No, on X. Look on X.
Oh.
Anyway, how Trump put it so succinctly. Our education system is now not 38th, not 37th. We are 40th. We are at the bottom of the barrel, the very bottom. And yet we spend more dollar per pupil. Yeah, because the bureaucrats, warning, your connection is unstable. Please wait while we retry.
I'm not pulling him up here, babe.
I think that's what I didn't think we had a good connection. Earlier, what should we talk about tonight? And we were talking about perseverance, and the long game, courage, Tesla being attacked. Donald Trump went out and bought a Tesla. Apparently he bought them for Kai first, but that Kai sure has it going on, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's adorable. She seems pretty sharp.
Yeah, she does. But we were talking that I said I think every single person who can afford it, not if you can't afford it, but everyone who can afford it should go out and buy a Tesla right now. That to support Elon.
Yeah, and it's the most American-made car.
Yeah, that there are more American parts on that car than any other car.
Well, I don't know if it's just parts, but because you have labor, you have.
I don't either.
But it's the most American-made.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the percentage, I guess, of labor, and I think you moved it to Texas, right?
Mm-hmm. He moved it to Texas out of California.
Yep.
Yeah. So the long game, perseverance. Yeah. So we were talking about Trump buying a Tesla to support Elon after what Elon's
and I'm sure they're going to be like, see, it's a reciprocal relationship.
But I was thinking I don't think we were on the air, but also I may be repeating if we were, but I was thinking about whatever pundit had said that in a very negative light that Elon came from apartheid, and so he must be a racist, bad guy. And I got to thinking about what have we got, honey?
This may become redundant because it looks like we're still on the
same show. Oh, so I may have already talked about
Yeah, I'm just saying. Nobody.
That's a good point. It looks like we've been going for 16 minutes, so I'm not going to repeat it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do something new. Okay, so we did the planks, we did the platform.
We were talking about the pitifulness of the Democratic Party,
Which
and you just wonder, is there going to be somebody that's going to stand up that they can get behind? And if it's that person, is it somebody like that one lady out of Dallas, someone that just has nothing to say but negative stuff about it. There's no real principles or ideas that can move forward.
Crockett.
I mean, Trump hasn't. Okay, so let's go to this because
Andrew Yang just announced today. I don't know if he announced it a couple of days ago, but I just heard about it today that he is starting a new third party called the Forward Party. He said there are over 50% independents in in America right now. Over 50% identify as independent. That means both parties have lost tremendous amount of loyalists, and that people are not being represented by what they believe in.
Well, and for a while, you felt like you were picking between the lesser of two evils.
It's been that for a very long time.
It's been that way for a very long time. And of course, you had the propaganda.
That's a whole conspiracy
going up against, heaven forbid there be a conspiracy theory out there.
Well, the two choices, that there's only two choices.
Like the hat says, Trump was right about everything.
I like that.
And he's really the fact that he was an outside businessman who had kind of worked with both sides is what, like I had said before, if you would have told me 20 years
I almost uploaded part
video.
Well, whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I almost uploaded part 1 last night, but I still want to tweak it just a little bit more. But I'm in part 2 now, and I'll get that uploaded as soon as possible, and that should not have any connection issues.
Is okay, GI, what you think? Can you hear us? Because it is saying connectivity issues. We're gonna have to do something about this, like move.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move to town.
Or I'm gonna DM Elon and be like, "Come on, bro. If you can do this in North Carolina, why can't we?"
Well, we can download anything at all. I can download the largest file you ever wanted super fast. I just can't upload.
Oh wait, anything. He said we're coming in now.
Awesome. Okay, much better. Good. All right, we better talk fast.
Okay, so anyway, Democrats don't have a platform. Elon's like,
they don't have a plan or a platform.
Okay, I can't do that. Yeah, so just the redundancy of them screaming and hollering, and they have 0 points, not 1 point. And you were talking about the other guy that was coming.
The guy that was on the aisle, he was a Democrat as Trump was leaving after the State of the Union address, and he took the piece of paper and threw it up in the air, and you couldn't tell if it was disrespectful or if he meant it well. Come to find out, it was a Democrat. The piece of paper was "This is not normal," and he grabbed it from her and tossed it into the air, and he said it was not lost on me that this is not normal. What we're doing as a Democrat Party is not normal.
I know you're like saying y'all are not normal, or what we're doing right now while we're sitting here is really not normal.
And I thought that's too character to just say, enough's enough. Get it out of her hand and throw it up in the air.
Yeah, we were talking about how I was looking at that sign and I'm thinking, yeah, y'all are the ones that labeled it the new normal, and the new normal is not normal. Even the old normal wasn't normal. So let's get a new normal and just do things like with.
Yeah, it's definitely giving us a hard time.
Yeah, he's like, we saw it.
Yeah. All right, so we're live again, and
we saw it that time.
Just popped up. It hasn't done that yet.
We saw it this time, GI, but thank you. That was a good, quick response for us. Yeah, but she saw it flash. Yeah. I don't know what's going on tonight. We got clear skies, so we're gonna have to figure this out again because the router's right there.
here, the antenna is on the roof, and I don't have $2,000 a month to buy a commercial account.
So anyway, I don't know if or what you wanted to talk about. We were. I don't want to repeat myself again because this will be like the third time.
Well, we were gonna get into the long game. What is the long game, and
Right.
and what is our long game? How can we? I miss you guys. Miss you too, G.I. Jose.
Yeah, for me, I think when you're watching, Trump's playing on a different level than everybody else when he's talking about these tariffs and everything. There are certain situations that you're like, would they have the guts to turn off electricity to the northeast of the United States, Canada? Because right now
would Canada
they raised,
do that to us?
Trump just went to 50% tariffs on Canada.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm behind the times, guys. I don't know about this.
Yeah, so but the long game, to me, the long game in the tariffs are separate issues like immigration and drugs and that sort of thing, but also let's get people over here and let's recreate our manufacturing base so we can have our own steel, our own companies that make prescription drugs, our cars done over here and everything. So you could see him talking about how there may be a little bit of short-term pain, but we've been in short-term pain for 4 years.
We've been in severe pain. We've had a limb broken off for severe pain. Alberta sent delegates to DC to see about joining the U.S. Woo!
And I really do think Greenland's in play.
I think Greenland's in play. I think we have got a serious problem with the Far East, and I think everybody knows it. I think Russia has found themselves stuck in the middle, and they're not in a good place, and I do not envy their position at all. As far as Bible prophecy, I could get into all of that with this, but I again think a little differently than most of my colleagues. But I really think that wiser men have come to the table and are beginning to look at how serious this situation is. China wants to rule the world, and you know what? I might get
they're just laying low and doing their thing. And you look up and you find out that
in the art of war.
Okay, so this is interesting. Fight your enemy where it's not.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't Alberta, British Columbia link with Alaska? A pipeline would make sense every day in New York City. That could be dangerous. You need to keep your head down. Watch your six. I can't believe they're blowing up.
If he's in New York City, he's been watching his six for a long time.
I can't even say that word. Can't say BLOW.
Yeah. So,
yes, vandalizing the cars and vandalizing the dealerships. And Anthony Mark is right. That's an excellent point that G.I. Jose is making about Alberta, BC, that it connects to Alaska in a pipeline straight down. Let's do it. The Keystone Pipeline is from Prudhoe Bay, isn't it?
That one, to be honest with you, of all the times we've talked about the Keystone Pipeline, I don't know.
If I'm not mistaken, and you guys don't quote me, I could be wrong about this, but if I'm not mistaken, the Keystone Pipeline is out of Prudhoe Bay. Prudhoe Bay is up in the tippy top of Alaska. It's the North Pole, basically. It's really hard to get to, hard to get in and out of 6 months out of the year.
That's kind of what I thought. It came from Alaska through Canada to here.
Yeah.
So I always found that interesting.
But I'm not sure about the Keystone. I was there at 7:45 a.m. today, and there was one police officer there at the Tesla plant. I think we need more than one. We'll pray for your safety. In fact, Father God would pray for Anthony's safety as he goes past those Tesla plants, or that Tesla plant. Please keep him safe, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. I think they expect us.
My six.
I think it was here to switch topics. Kennedy was just Senator Kennedy. was just talking about
From Louisiana.
the guy that has the visa or green card. I'm assuming he's a H-1B visa. That's leading all of these. Really, I mean, I've got to be careful how I state it, but when you look at all of these different protests,
Are
it's
we talking
pretty.
about Colombia?
Yeah, it's
And the
pretty
guy that
obvious
ready to
what's
deport?
happening there.
I have deportation. I don't have it written down, but it
Yeah.
was one of my topics.
And so they've got to get. They basically he was saying, well, it's clear, so it may hang
rules are
up.
clear.
It may hang up in like a district court, but it will end
But the
up.
Supreme Court will.
But
will
if it
rule.
goes to the Supreme Court, it's a flat out straight
How
and easy, and that Rubio he's like he can take care of it himself.
Yeah, he has the power to.
Right. So, and that's what they're doing. And they showed a clip of I forget, it was like the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia or something like that back in 2017. He's like, if you guys aren't paying attention, this is going to spread, and before you know it, you're going to have a problem on your hands. But nobody wants to listen because they think they understand and they want to be so politically correct. And that was back in 2017 from, like, I think it was the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
It's a black letter law, as they say about student visas. You know, so that H-1B visa, I see the point to it. I obviously it has its purpose, but what you just said and what Anthony just backed up, people ignored the warnings.
So yeah, so one of the things that what I used to do is one of the jobs I had previously for a while was placing people, and there was a lot of H-1Bs, and what I ran into there was you would think that it's a position that a particular company wants to be filled, but what it turned out to be was somebody in America, I don't know what their status was, but they were a company, they made themselves a company, and they were placing I believe it was like people from like India. India was a real haven for these sharp programmer guys, and they would bring them in and pay them $25 an hour and place them for 80. And that was what they would run as a company. And so this became a deal, and it was basically importing a bunch of H-1B visas. So it wasn't an individual thing as much as it was. And you know, that might be something that Trump was talking about. I didn't quite understand what he was talking about with the $5 million gold H-1Bs or whatever, but it's an interesting.
Anthony Mark has an interesting point here. He says if you have a relationship with a college, it's easier to get an H-1B visa too. And GI Jose, I can understand the need for H-1B. Me too. However, there should be a cap limit on it. Absolutely. And I think right now, with the state of our nation, yes, we need the cream of the crop. There's no doubt about it. And technology is hard, shall we say. It's not the easiest field to be in. And I love how Elon is on my IT support. I'm help desk. I'm help desk. Anyway,
Tech support.
Tech support.
Yeah.
I think of help desk.
Well, I think America's just gotten to a point where we're kind of beyond the send us everybody thing, because people now understand how we're going to approach it. How they look for the, all you got to do is find the weakest link in the chain, and that's where you target. And you know, like back talking about, you know, shot. And the fact of the matter is, these people are constantly every day looking at ways to do this. So the more that we allow them to do it, the more it's going to be taken advantage of.
Right. I'm going to read Anthony Mark's text here. And thank you, G.I. Jose. He said, smash that like button. Thank you so much. There is a lottery on the H-1B, but as of 2019, you had to have a relationship with a college, and you had and you could be exempt from the lottery. If you had a relationship with the college, you could be exempt from the lottery. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
I
there's,
think
but
everything
like
has
you said,
changed.
where's the limit?
And I think everything has changed. I think we have got, okay, with this guy in Colombia, a Hamas protester, a Hamas sympathizer, a person who says, I have the right to free speech. Your college gives me the right to say whatever I want against the Jews. You can't kick me out. So not only does he not understand our Constitution and free speech, we've been feeding him lies. The Democrats or the NGOs or whoever has been feeding this person this belief system that he can say whatever he wants.
I don't know that
And
I
then he
agree
can't
with
be
that, but
deported.
you're correct. I don't know that that's why he's doing it.
Well, I don't know his heart or his mind, but it appears that that's a possibility. But my point is, we are way beyond the helpfulness of an H-1B. We have got to get control of how it got out of control. We got to rein it in, clear out the debris, the riffraff.
It was never supposed to be a get into America free card.
Right. Exactly what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And go back through and find the cream of the crop, leave them and keep them here and get them good jobs and take it from there.
You know, when I ran into a person that was on a green card, and they were talking about how absolutely frightened they were that and the way they came over, it was there was a lot of fear involved, and they came over like years and years ago. But they're afraid. No, not that far back, but they're literally afraid that the media has gotten these people. I'm like, you're not what we're looking for. You know, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but once again, that fear pushing the narrative is creating an issue where you're like, wow. I was trying to feel it from their point of view, and I'm like, that would be wow. Yeah. I mean, it would just be frightening, and you're trying to think of it from their angle. And but obviously you could tell that based on what they'd heard before, if we were looking at where we stood politically, we'd be on opposite sides.
Anthony Mark says he talks about the gold card here.
Mm-hmm.
He says Trump has proposed that if you're willing to pay $5 million, we will give you a pathway to citizenship. And I think that's for the companies to pay $5 million because they have a candidate who's tippy top of his class and they want to hire him. So they'll be glad to shell out that $5 million to get him into the country, hire him until he pays back the $5 million in productivity.
Right. Yeah, Jose's like, pay up.
Pay up, you're right.
I don't know if we spelt perseverance right. It kept coming up differently. But yeah, we got to hang in there. This isn't a short game. It's a long game.
Yep,
and unfortunately, it can't be focused on as a 4-year long game. It has to be a 2-year long game.
This is interesting. I did not know this, Anthony Mark. The green card comes up for renewal every 10 years, but it's almost an automatic renewal once you obtain the green card. You know, Melania talked about how she had to go back to Slovenia every 5 years or whatever it was to do her card. And
so what's the difference?
She went through the front door.
So what's the difference between a green card and an H-1B visa? Because I think the H-1Bs are 3 years.
I honestly don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but I need to look it up.
I know they're both. Well, H-1B is probably student and green is probably work.
Well, H-1B is work. Oh. But green could be work also, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Thanks, Anthony. I know one thing. We have got a mess on our hands. And this business in Colombia, so I think back to my mom was an educator, right? H-1B has 3 years and you get a second 3-year term.
Okay.
Anthony said.
All right. I thought it was a 3-year
And the
deal.
green is 5, I guess. And H-1B is for work.
Right.
And green is for living and work, I guess.
Yeah, no H-1B is for work. That's just what we did. I didn't really have to pay that much attention to
You
it.
can turn the AC down.
Unless it was going to be a 1 year project, and somebody's like, well, I've only got, 6 months left. I might as well be what needs to.
It's AC got too cold.
Okay.
Um,
Excuse me.
sorry, he'll be right back. I know when I was a kid and my mom was teaching school, and that they, that side of the family was all about education, 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 go to college no matter what. And she began to say, because the colleges were getting so crazy in the 60s, she began to say, I may not want you to go to college. I don't think I want to expose you to all this nonsense. Well, I just imagine she's rolling in her grave right now with what's going on. The things that the students were protesting in the 60s, and this is my naive view as a child. I know more now than I did then. But as a child, we were protesting a war that didn't seem to be worth fighting, that was being fought by politicians rather than soldiers. I don't want to get into an argument about the Vietnam War, but the protest for that. Oh, is it my eye? Is it really dripping bad? Sorry. But what they're protesting now is to kill the Jews. What? I mean, the difference is night and day.
Well, it's
It doesn't even make any sense.
As much as we've been through in the past 5
wait,
years.
let me finish this. And then not only that, I'm sorry, can you go on?
No, go ahead.
That with the Tesla attacks, here he was their hero because he was Mr. Green Card. He was all environmental, anti-petro, and all of a sudden they hate him because he loves Donald Trump. Go ahead.
Well, they also hate him because $300 will make you hate anyone to some of these people.
What does it say again?
Give me a few C notes and I'll hate anyone.
Oh, they're paid protesters. That's such a good point.
Well, and every single one of them are wearing a mask. Like 5 years removed. How many masks do you see today?
This out. In 2010, this is Anthony Mark. My ex-employer had 10 employees, and I was the only person there born in the USA. All other employees had legit green visas or green cards. And Gia Jose, my buddy's wife, just got her green card.
We're in for green cards.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
Awesome.
Gia Jose, it was not so easy for several of my ex-colleagues to get a green card. It's a long process. She learned English and is working on assimilating in American culture. She loves America. Most people who really want to be here do love it once they figure it out. In 1970, college students were protesting the war and hoping to avoid the draft. Yep. Not Mr. Green Card, but Mr. Green Card. Not Mr. Green Card, but Mr. Green Card.
I'm not sure. I'm not following that one, but I think we're not involved in that.
I just went with it. 5 years the left loved Elon, and today not so much.
Yeah.
You can tell he's afraid too. You can tell that the death threats are really severe.
You know what, though? I don't think he has the personality to have the ability to back down.
That's a good point.
I mean, I think he's a good decision maker. Don't get me wrong, and he could if he wanted to, but he's on a mission, and you couldn't have anyone better on a mission than somebody that's been so focused and created. And I heard, what was it, Michael Steele talking like, go back to your day job because one of the newer rockets exploded, and he's like, go back to your day job. Everybody's like, this is his day job. Are you afraid of failure because you're not doing so hot?
And Michael Steele said, leave the government to us.
Yeah.
He's media.
Yeah.
He used to be government.
Yeah. There's still, and by the way, the whole interwoven
green card.
Green card. That's right. You had a green card.
I did, didn't I?
Yep. So did I.
You did?
Yep.
Different brand.
Yeah. So
mine was
the whole interwoven Democratic left-wing pay for play kind of whatever is still all there. Everyone's showing up to these. I keep saying, I'm trying to get away from that. Everyone's showing up to these protests. They all have some sort of mask. If I'm protesting, I'm not going to have a mask. You don't go to the store and see anybody. Every once in a blue moon, you'll see somebody, and it might be a medical reason why they have one, but it's not. How do you get to, okay, these people are protesting and 100% of them, other than the main guy, they all have masks. This, the whole mask thing was just a way to cover your face to get people to do what you wanted them to do. If you paid them to go against the government and you have a mask on, I mean, what a great idea.
What a great idea. These people don't even know the difference between a series circuit compared to a parallel circuit, and they think they know how to get a rocket into space.
Right.
Good one, G.I. Jose.
Yeah.
Each day in New York City, I see at least one person wearing a mask, just regular people, not protesters. It is sad.
But he said at least one. There's a few people in New York.
Yeah.
So my point is, you look at a shot of what's on TV, and it's 100% of them. There's one or two people.
And the left is still just totally bought in. And I think that's what's sad. Hey, I don't want to run out of time without completely changing gears here. But have you guys seen the trailer for The Accountant 2?
Oh, I'm looking forward. It's coming out, what, next month?
April 25th.
April 25th.
Has anybody seen it? Excellent comment, yeah, Jose. Yeah, no doubt. Excellent comment. So has anybody seen the trailer for The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck? It has all the original cast, and it looks phenomenal. So I couldn't help myself.
Anthony Mark's like, I saw it, yes, April 25th.
What do you think? What did you think of the trailer? I gave the trailer 5 stars. I am, and Gia Jose did too.
Yeah, you're in a car. I used to wonder about that one, G.I. Jose, when I was driving around. I'm like, you're in your car alone in the country. I'm not sure I get this. All I know is if I put on a mask, I suffocate myself and I'm taking it off. Mm-hmm. But then again, it was the vaccine of the unmasked or unvaxxed, or it was a disease of the
It was the disease of the
pandemic of the unvaxxed.
Pandemic of the unvaxxed.
Yeah. So we're not falling for it. I ain't falling for no banana in the tailpipe.
So, all right. So yeah. Mask inside your own car by yourself.
Right.
Great. All right. So now we're talking about the trailer, and the whole cast is back. And G.I. Jose gives it 3.87367719 stars.
That's right.
I have a feeling that number is significant.
That's what do you say?
Some form or fashion.
What is it? Oh, I thought he was going to put in pi or something like that, but it wasn't. Pi wouldn't be high enough. So
3.141921.
I do not know what that number is.
I don't either.
So fill us in, GI, or let us know if you're just
typing numbers.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that movie. And it won't it be nice? We've had a really great wave to ride since November 5th. This has just been wonderful. Amazing.
Watching things actually happen, doing what a president should do and hasn't done.
And appoint a cabinet that makes sense.
Right.
A common sense cabinet instead of being pushed by all the lobbyists into who he has to put here and there and all of that nonsense. So we've had such a great couple of months of success and winning. And now we're going to start the spring off with a movie. That's right up my alley.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited.
That was funny. He was talking about putting certain tariffs into effect, but we're going to do it on April 2nd.
Oh, you're superstitious.
I'm a little superstitious.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So, yeah, there's been a lot happening, a lot to pay attention to.
And the whole cabinet is filled now? Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
The cabinet is filled.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yep.
I just saw the Secretary of Education lady. She's been in for 5 days.
Is she out of a job yet?
No, but she's working. But
She's
she's
working
working
hard on
on it. Yeah.
it.
So it's just interesting to watch the responses to all of these things.
Yeah.
There's never a hey, okay, maybe if we did this or that. There's never an idea. The whole address to Congress is already old, but you're like, you're kidding me, right? I don't know if y'all saw on X that
I
that
feel kind of
person.
sorry for them.
I mean, it was
They have
sad.
no
I mean, it
place
was
to
really
go.
dark and sad, but I like the
But they
guy.
could jump on board. That's all they'd have to do is jump on board and say, okay, here's our differences. We still they still
Right.
believe in abortion, and we still believe in a few other things that are different. They could jump on board with that,
You
and
know, we keep hearing things like and seeing
and it would
things
still
like
be a bold colors because I'll never be pro-choice ever. I'll always be pro-life, no matter who is in charge.
but we keep continuing to see things which this is old news, but people saying you're there to protect women who just the day before voted to allow. And I liked who's it who's who's the lady with dark hair on Outnumbered, because I was thinking this.
Emily
Emily,
Campagno.
I was thinking this, and
doll.
she
Such a
articulated
doll.
it really well. She said, I'm waiting to see when a 17-year-old is in one of those rooms and one of these people do this. You know, when you have a 17-year-old lady and an 18-year-old man, and when this happens.
Let's get to the chats here. It's about Facebook groups and silly people in them. I think he was talking about the cabinet. Gia Jose, they say stupid things about Trump, Elon, Cash, and the rest, but it's only been almost 3 months. Give Trump a chance. It takes time. No kidding, right? All this, I thought the economy would be fixed by now.
No, it hasn't even
Excuse me?
been 2 months.
And right, they are doing everything possible to delay or stop what Trump is trying
I
to
do find it endearing that people are losing their jobs, like Joy.
endearing.
Yes, it's very endearing. It's like all of a sudden Joy Reid doesn't have a job. Well, did you see Gutfeld's thing on that?
No.
He's like, Joy Reid's lost her job and they've released all of her wigs back into the wild, and it shows all these wigs running off. And
I feel that's kind of funny.
I know
That
that
is
was
kind
bad.
of funny.
But I mean, yeah,
50
the
days
accountability.
into the term, 7 weeks.
I know, imagine we'll have 500 and then still have some left before there's a change. But from what I'm seeing, from the way the Democrats are addressing everything, it looks to me, and I'm not gonna jinx it, but it just looks to me like it's gonna keep going unless somebody comes up with something else in the direction of common sense.
Does it bother y'all that they keep telling the Democrats what to do to fix their problem? I want to tell them, shut up. Just let them keep doing what they're doing. We finally have some common sense Republicans who are not just dorks. and they're making good decisions. Could we please just keep our mouth quiet and let them fall all over themselves and just continue to pass what needs to be passed to save this country?
Yep. Are we still good? Wait, there we go.
Yeah, your opponent makes mistakes. Just let them. Isn't that Sun Tzu?
Yeah.
The Art of War?
Well, you're just sitting back going, keep it up.
Yeah, you're supposed to be quiet and just let them do their thing.
I love the meme that I saw.
Drives me crazy that all these media personalities keep talking about what the Democrats should do to fix the party.
The meme of all the surly Democrats holding signs up, and somebody put a meme. Yeah, the ping pong paddles, and somebody put a sign up that said, "Thank you, Democrats, for making it so easy for us to use Photoshop to make memes," and it said like, "I'm an idiot," and all these different things. She's with her, or whatever. They just had changed all of them. It was hilarious.
Oh, Brad Pitt said that in the movie Money Pit. Moneyball. Is it Moneyball?
Right.
Moneyball. That was a good movie.
Moneyball was a good one.
Yeah, it was very
That's
good.
right.
We have that one on DVD.
Yep.
We're baseball fans.
And I remember that. An old Art Howe, because
Are
we
you
were
a Yankee?
Astros fans, and
We're Astros.
yeah.
What can we say?
So-
Houston, Texas. We were so stomped on for so long
Yeah. I remember when
until we finally cheated.
they posted Christie's sign that said 10 years worth of wait. Because it'd been 10 years since
yeah,
we've
in
been back.
2015, we went to the World Series in 2005 against the Chicago White Sox and forgot to show up.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was really rough. The White Sox?
Yeah.
Yes, South Chicago.
Yep.
Yep. And we forgot to play. We didn't remember how to play baseball. And so that was 2005. So in 2015, we're playing Kansas City, getting close, and it's looking like we just might win the pennant. And I had a sign that said 10 years worth of wait, question mark.
That was one of your first Twitter handles. Was it Astros Christie?
Yeah, that was one of my first.
Anyway,
Twitter
we're
handles.
getting off track, but we
And
were at
They tweeted out my sign. It was my stomach was sticking out.
we were at the famous Game 5 with LA in 2017. We were at that game, and it was a phenomenal game. That was a crazy game. Whatever you want to yell at the Astros about or whatever.
Jose, that's right. They cheated. They learned it from the Patriots.
Yeah, it was like, really? It was like, yes, we have less air in the
We
ball.
were
But
embarrassed.
if you're
I'll
not
tell
cheating,
you.
you're not trying, right? Ask the Democrats.
It was wonderful, Anthony Mark. It was really cool. Somebody else had to show it to me. I didn't know it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun in Minute Maid Park.
There were a lot of T-shirts running around Houston that said "Shut up and play."
That's right. It said,
What was the other one?
Houston against all y'all.
Houston against all y'all. That was the favorite. That was the fun one.
Yeah, we were
You
at the
guys
last game in the
cheated, go
Astrodome.
Dodgers.
Whatever.
We know.
Whiner.
But you know what? That was pretty amazing to watch that young team come together without cheating.
Well, the Dodgers were
and
formidable.
lose every game through all of 2013, 14, 15. And then it was in 2016 that it really began to come together.
Well, when was it? It was like 2015 Sports Illustrated had Springer on the cover, and it said your 2017 World Champion.
Series champion. Yeah.
And sure enough, it
was.
happened. So it was a fun ride, but
Yeah.
we digress. They probably don't want to talk about the Astros.
Yeah, probably not.
but I will say this: it was some crazy stuff when we were playing the Dodgers. Talk about it was.
And I had clients in California.
It took me back to the Steve Garvey days, and which was funny because Baker was our coach, right? So anyway, I can get GI going.
I want Trump to be my baseball team's manager.
There you go.
That's a good one. I think he is kind of running it like a baseball team, huh? I mean, pull up who works. Doesn't matter what the reputation is. Doesn't matter where they're from. If they know their position, put them in play.
That's right.
And that's what the Angels did in that movie, right?
The Angels did in what movie?
Moneyball.
Well, that wasn't. I'll turn my volume up.
You know what? Our dogs are really fussing. I think they need something. They probably need to go.
Moneyballs
outside.
was the A's.
Did I say Angels?
Yes.
I meant A's.
I know. She's pretty good. We'll be up in the stands, and she's and y'all. Okay, I'm gonna tell these two stories real quick.
First base.
Yeah, Steve Garvey. I'm trying to remember everybody.
Let me let the dogs out.
Dave Concepcion. I don't know if that's the big red. It was the big red machine and the Dodgers that we kept running into.
Come up, Pete.
No. So anyway, Christy goes. We're up in the stands, and I don't know, a play happens or whatever, and Christy's like, "Why are you sending him to third with 2 down and so coming up?" And this guy behind me looks over at me. He's like, "What the heck?" She really knows her stuff. So, but she's I kind of started playing softball with her and teaching her a little bit, and she's got a gun. I heard a guy from the other dugout after she threw somebody out at second. They said this guy started to take first and try and take second, and they're like, "Don't go! She's got a gun!" And Christy was just strutting off the field. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing that. So, yeah, solid first baseman. Yeah, it was the Oakland days, definitely. Anthony's like, "Okay, you're out of my topic now, and now y'all probably don't just want to listen to me." So she's left me here alone with y'all. Christy, quick, come back. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm holding the steering wheel and you're falling asleep.
Are you lost?
Anyway, I told him a little bit about your baseball stuff. Hey, you gotta go.
Our dogs are in the back porch. So we had a dog emergency last week. Sasha ate a rock and she threw it up right in front of me. Come to find out, she was impacted and had to have surgery. And so our land is chock full of rocks. So she's going to have to be supervised while she's outside. And I've got them on the back porch, locked into the back porch, but she needed to go to the restroom. So.
All right. Well, you got anything else for tonight?
I guess that's about it. The deportation.
For a while.
I think the deportation is very important, and we're going to be talking about that for a while. The legalities of it, because if we don't get on this and get these guys out of here.
Okay, G.I. Jose, what is Pete Bagwell? That's
not Pete. Not Pete. Pete Rose.
I don't know if he's playing on Pete Rose and Jeff Bagwell.
Jeff Bagwell. Yeah.
Yeah. We now got two in the Hall of Fame now.
But Pete Rose was pardoned by Trump, and now let's get him into the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
So awesome.
Although he did mess up really bad, but
we don't agree.
Johnny Hustle was you. How do you not put him in there?
How do you not put that guy in the Hall of Fame? All right, guys. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the show tonight. You guys made it all worthwhile. Keep an eye out for my Bible study video coming up pretty soon. I think I'll have it up this.
It's interesting.
I think I'll have it up this week.
She's spending a lot of time on it. It's not talking about.
Someone said, "Don't let the perfection be the killer of the good." So, but it has to flow. So it doesn't have.
Yeah, but that can go either way. It's like good is the enemy of the great. You know, if you settle for good, then you'll never get great.
Right.
But I hear it can go either way. Yeah. You can just come up with these things. We can make T-shirts. I just saw a T-shirt. I just bought a T-shirt.
We need to make T-shirts, and we need to sell them on here.
I've been watching.
What should we say, guys?
I can't take this one, but I've been watching everything that's going on, and the one that I had on. The one that I had to go buy a T-shirt yesterday because it was getting warm, and I'm like, I didn't bring a T-shirt. And it says, brains are awesome. Everybody should have one.
And he was around the corner, and I thought it said, brains are awesome. Everyone should have mine. And then he turned. I'm like, oh, one.
Anyway. I was just relating it to watching the Krats do their thing. The Democrats.
The demolished Krats. That's pretty good.
All
right, guys. Good night. You want to say prayer?
Yeah. Lord, thank you for this day, our many blessings. We lift up everyone across this land and in this world, that each and every one would know you and would have Jesus as their Savior. We ask for your protection over our leaders, over President Trump, over Elon, and over everybody in the cabinet. We just ask that your Holy Spirit move across this country. And we had prayed, and what the Bible says, if my people who
are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways and confess their sins and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land.
So we pray this and we thank you in Jesus' holy name. We lift up all our viewers. We thank you and praise you, God. Amen.
Amen. I'll make you memorize that.
Well, I know it until I'm trying to pray it.
And then he said, this has been a great live stream. It's been fun, huh? This was a good one. I loved it. I thoroughly loved it.
A lot better than the last
couple ones.
A lot better than like September.
Oh, if you speak in your heart, your farts smell like roses. G.I. Jose. All right, guys. Good
That's
night.
funny.
Have,
Thanks,
it was
guys.
funny.
Y'all take care.
Have a wonderful evening. Everyone else, we'll see you soon. Catch you on the next video. Bye.
Take care.